Welcome back. So today we are going to discuss another chapter. So chapter name is moving charges and magnetism. So this is the new chapter, moving charges and magnetism. So moving charges and magnetism. So here, so we shall discuss the first question in this chapter. So KCP concept. So first question. Experiences a magnetic force in the presence of magnetic field. Which of the following statement is correct? Okay. So understand this one. A charged particle experiences magnetic force in the presence of magnetic field. Okay. So by using the charged particle, so placed in a magnetic field, it is experiencing force. So F is equal to, we know that Q into V bar plus V bar. Okay, so this is the formula for magnetic force. So F is equal to Q into V bar cross V bar. So a charged particle placed in a magnetic field, it experiences the force. So what is the expression? F is equal to Q into V bar plus V bar. So next, F is equal to V cross V, it can be written as QVP sin theta. So if velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field. So velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field. So theta is equal to 90 degrees. So here theta is the angle between B and B. So theta is the angle between B and B. So T is perpendicular to B. Theta equal to 90 degree. Therefore, magnetic force F is equal to QB. This is the maximum value of the force. So which of the following is the correct statement? So option A, the particle is moving and the magnetic field is perpendicular to velocity. So this is the condition. So velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field. So in this case, what is the maximum magnetic force is equal to QBB. So then first option is right. So the particle is moving and the magnetic field is perpendicular to the velocity. So first option is right. So next second option, the particle is moving and the magnetic field is parallel to velocity. So velocity is parallel to magnetic field. So what happens to the force? Force is equal to 0. So force is 0. So first option is right. Next one, the particle is stationary and the magnetic field is perpendicular. So the particle is stationary means velocity is 0. So 0 into anything 0. So force is equal to 0. So next third option, the particle is stationary and the magnetic field is parallel. Stationary means it is at rest. So rest means velocity is 0. So there is no force. So in what condition the force is maximum? The particle is moving and the magnetic field is perpendicular to the velocity. So which is the right option? Option A. So next second question. Second question. So if a velocity has both perpendicular and parallel components while moving through a magnetic field, so what is the path followed by a charged particle? Okay. So if a velocity has both perpendicular and parallel components, so while moving through a magnetic field, for example, if theta is equal to 0 degree, so that means B is parallel to B. So B is parallel to B, they can be formed the trajectory means straight line. So it is a straight line point. Okay. So next if theta equal to 90 degree, so that means B is perpendicular to B. So they can be formed the circle. So we know that these are the very important. If theta equal to 0, so velocity is parallel to magnetic field, they can be formed the trajectory is straight line. So if theta equal to 90 degree, so B is perpendicular to B, so they can be formed the circle. Okay. So here, so in this question, if velocity has both perpendicular and parallel components while moving through a magnetic field, so this is the direction. So this is both so parallel and perpendicular. So they can be formed the so in this path. So this is called the helical path. So helical path. So perpendicular area they can be formed in circle. So 0 degree they can be move the straight line. Okay. So total so they can be formed the helical paths. So what is the trajectory of this path? Helical path. So helical path is the right option. Okay. So helical path. So they can be formed the helical path. So if a velocity has both perpendicular and parallel components while moving through a magnetic field, what is the path followed by a charged particle? So A circular, B elliptical, C linear, D helical. So which is the right option? Helical path. So the particle moving in a helical path. So helical path is the right option. Next one. Next question. Question number 3. Next question. So a solenoid has third question. A solenoid has length 0.4 centimeter, radius 1 centimeter, and 400 turns of a wire. If a current of 5 ampere is passed through this solenoid, so what is the magnetic field inside the solenoid? Okay. So first of all, so given the condition, so length, so L is equal to 0.4 centimeter. So 0.4 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. So next radius. So radius R is equal to 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is converted into meter. So next number of tons. So number of tons. So number of tons N is equal to capital N is equal to 400. So next current. So I is equal to 5 ampere. Is passed through this solenoid. What is the magnetic field inside this solenoid? So we know that. So what is the formula for magnetic field inside this solenoid? B is equal to mu naught Ni. So N. So here N is equal to number of turns. So number of turns per unit length. So here N is called the number of turns per unit length. So that means N is equal to capital N divided by small n. So by using this one, so B is equal to mu naught into so N I divided by N. So now substitute the values in this expression. So B is equal to mu naught. So we know that so this is the constant value. So 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. So N is number of turns. So 400. So next I current is 5 divided by L. So length is 0.4 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So here, so 5 4 20 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 4 into 10 square divided by 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So here 4 cancel. Next, so 2 0. So that means 2 into minus 7. So plus 3. So 10 square 10 now. So that means 10 to the power of 3. Minus 7 plus 3, 10 to the power of minus 4. So here, so 2 pi really 2 pi into minus 7 plus 3, 10 to the power of minus 4. So minus 3 main out than 3. So that is 2 into 3.14 into 10 to the power of minus 1. So this is equal to 6.28 into 10 to the power of minus 1. So unit is Tesla. So magnetic field unit is Tesla. So what is the right option? 6.28 into 10 to the power of minus 1 Tesla. So 6.28 into 10 to the power of minus 1 Tesla is the right option. Okay. So once observe the options. Option A, 6.28 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla. Option B, 6.28 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Tesla. Option C, 6.28 into 10 to the power of minus 1 Tesla. So which is the right option? Option C. So this is the formula of the magnetic field inside the solenoid. So B is equal to mu naught N I. Here N is equal to number of turns per unit length. So small n is equal to capital N by L. Number of turns divided by length. Okay. So next one, question number 4. Next question number 4. Next one. So a gyromagnetic ratio of the electron revolving in a circular orbit of 5,000 atom is 8.8 into 10 to the power of 10 coulomb kg units. So what is the mass of the electron? Given charge of electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 8 into. Okay, so this is the question. A gyromagnetic ratio of the electron revolving in a circular orbit of 5,000 atom. So gyromagnetic ratio. So gyromagnetic ratio is equal to, so E divided by 2M. This is the formula for gyromagnetic ratio. So E divided by 2M. So here minus E divided by 2M, by if we take the magnitude of the value, so gyromagnetic ratio is equal to E by 2M. So now find out the mass. Okay. So already given the gyromagnetic ratio. So gyromagnetic ratio is equal to, so what is the value? 8.8 into 10 to the power of 10 coulomb kg inverse. Okay, coulomb kg inverse. So next charge of electron. So 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 90 coulomb. So now substitute the values. So gyromagnetic ratio is given. So how much that value? So 8.8 into 10 to the power of 10 is equal to E 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 90 divided by 2m. So now find out the value of m. So 2 1 ja, so 0.8. So next m is equal to 0.8 into 10 to the power of minus 90 divided by, so 8.8 into 10 to the power of 10. So main point cancel. So 8 divided by 28. So m is equal to 8 divided by 88 into 10 to the power of minus 90. So into 10 to the power of minus 10. So 8 1 ja 8 11. So 4 m is equal to 1 by 11 into 10 to the power of minus 29. So mass is measured in kg. This is the answer. So 1 by 11 into 10 to the power of minus 29 kg. So this is the right option. So once observe the options. Option A, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 29 kg. 1 into 10 to the power of minus 29 kg. So that is the wrong option. Option B, 0.1 into 10 to the power of minus 29. So that is also wrong. Option C, 1.1 into 10 to the power of minus 29. So that is also wrong. Option D, 1 by 11 into 10 to the power of minus 29 kg. So option D is right. Okay. So next question number 5. Next question number 5. Next question number 5. Number 5. So what is the value of send resistance to convert a galvanometer of resistance 100 ohm into an ammeter of range 1 ampere? Given full scale deflection of the galvanometer is 5 milliamp. Come on, this is the question. So understand first of all. So what is the value of send resistance to convert a galvanometer of resistance 100 ohm into an ammeter of range 1 ohm? So how to convert galvanometer into ammeter? So when a suitable low resistance, when a suitable low resistance is called send resistance, is called send resistance connected parallel to the galvanometer. Parallel to the galvanometer is converted into ammeter. Galvanometer is converted. So converted into ammeter. Is converted into ammeter. So when a suitable low resistance is called self resistance connected parallel to the galvanometer is converted into ammeter. So here ammeter is always connected in series, but galvanometer is converted into ammeter. So when a suitable low resistance connected parallel to the galvanometer, so in this case galvanometer is converted into the ammeter. So we know that. So what is the final expression for shunt resistance? So S is equal to IZG divided by I minus IZ. So this is the formula for shunt resistance. So shunt resistance S is equal to IZG divided by I minus IZ. So here IZ is called the galvanometer resistance, galvanometer current. So current through the galvanometer. IZ means current through the galvanometer. So capital G means galvanometer resistance. So I means ammeter current. So it measures the current. Ammeter measures the current. So I means ammeter current. Okay. So once observe the question. So what is the value of shunt resistance to convert the galvanometer of resistance? So galvanometer resistance. So the value is equal to 100 volt. So next into ammeter of range. So current I is equal to 1 ampere. So given full scale deflection of the galvanometer, so current passing through the galvanometer IC is equal to 5 milliampere. So that is equal to 5 into milli 10 to the power of minus 3 ampere. So these values are substituted in this equation. So S is equal to IZG by I minus IZ by using this formula. So now find out the S value. S is equal to IZ. So what is the value of IZ? 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into G. So G means 100 divided by, so I1 minus 5 into 10 to the power of minus. Okay. So this is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 to 10 square. 100 means 10 square. So that means 5 into 10 to the power of minus 1 divided by 1 minus 5 divided by 1000. So 10 to the power of minus 3 can be written as 1 by 10k. So 1 by 10k means 5 by 1000. So next this is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of minus 1. It can be written as 0.5. So next LCM is 1000. So 1000. So next. So if you use so like this, so like this. So 5 into 10 to the power of minus 1. So here 1000 minus 5 divided by 1000. Okay. So which is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of minus 1 into 10 cube. So 1000 below 10 to the power of 3 divided by 995. Okay, 1000 minus 5 is so 995. So 5 into 10 to the power of minus 1 10 cube. So that is equal to, so 5 into 10 square divided by 995. So this is the value of S. So S is equal to 5 into 10 square divided by 995. But so answers nalli enide 5 divided by 9.95 ಇದೆ. So ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ so multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by 10 to the power of minus 2 mark. Okay, so multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by 10 to the power of minus 2. So plus 2 minus 2 cancel ಆಯ್ತಾ. So ಈಗ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿದೆ 5 995 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So now minus 2 remove ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 9.95 ohm. So this is the value of shunt resistance. So S is equal to 5 divided by 9.95 ohm. So this is the right option. Okay. So in option 5 divided by 9.95. So which is the right option? Once observe the options. S is equal to 5 divided by 9.95 ohm. So So option A, so this is right. Option B, 9.95 divided by 5, so that is all wrong. Option C, 0.5 ohm. Option D, 0.05 ohm. So which is the right option? Option A, 5 divided by 9.95 ohm. So next one, question number 6. Question number 6. So a circular coil of radius 10 centimeter and 100 tons carries a current of 1 ampere. So what is the magnetic moment of the coil? Magnetic moment. So we know that. So what is the formula for magnetic moment? The product of current and area. So this is the formula for magnetic moment. So M is equal to IA, the product of current and area. So now if we take the N turns, so N turns now this one. So what is the value of magnetic moment? M is equal to INA. So M is equal to INA. Where N is equal to number of turns. Okay. So once understand the question. A circular coil. So now if we take the circular coil, so this is the circular coil of radius is R. Okay. So now we are using so circular coil. Okay. So by using this formula, so first of all, given the condition, radius R is equal to 10 centimeter. So 10 into 10 to the 4 of minus 2 meter, 10 plus 1 minus 1 cancel. This is equal to 0.1 meter. So this is the value of R. So next number of turns, N is equal to 100. So next current, I is equal to 1 ampere. Okay. So now then substitute the values, M is equal to N into I. So A means area of the circle. So what is the formula for area of the circle? Pi r square. Pi r square. Okay. So the number of turns, N is equal to, now substitute the values, 100 into 1. So pi value is equal to 3.14. So next R value, so that is 0.1 whole square. So 0.1 whole square. So next this is 10 square into 3.142 into 10 to the 4 of minus 2. So 10 square 10 to the 4 of minus 2 cancel. So therefore magnetic moment M is equal to 3.142. So current measured in ampere. So area measured in meter square. So ampere meters. So this is the unit of the magnetic moment. So what is the final answer? 3.142 ampere meter square. Okay, once observe the options. So A 3.142 into 10 to the power of 4 ampere meter square. So that is wrong option. So next the second one 10 to the power of 4 ampere meter square. So that is also wrong. So next option C 3.142 into 3.142 ampere meter square. This is the right option. Option C is right. Option D 3 ampere meter square. So that is also wrong. So question number 6, which is the right option? Option C. Okay. So these questions are corresponding to KCET 2014. This chapter is also very important and fun, right? So next one. So next one, KCET 2015. 2015. So next one, KCET 2015. Okay. So next question number 7. Question number 7. So a proton beam enters a magnetic field of 10 to the 4 of minus 4 Weber meter square. Normally, if the specific charge of the proton is 10 to the 4 of 11 and the velocity is 10 to the 4 of 9 meter second minus 1, then the radius of the circle describes will be. So we know that. So what is the radius of the circular path? So what is the radius? R is equal to MV divided by QB. So R is equal to mb divided by E into B charge. Okay. So now in this question, so a proton beam enters the magnetic field of 10 to the power of minus 4 Weber meter square. So this is the magnetic field. So magnetic field is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4 Weber meter square. Weber meter square. Okay. Weber meter square. Weber meter square. So next one. So if the specific charge of the proton ratio, so E by M is equal to, so 10 to the power of 11. So next velocity. So velocity V is equal to 10 to the power of 9 meter second. Weber meter minus 2. This is Weber meter minus 2. So Weber meter minus. Okay. So Weber meter minus 2. So V is equal to 10 to the power of 9 meter second inverse. So next one. Then the radius of the circle. So we know that what is the formula for radius of the circle? R is equal to mb divided by EB. So now substitute the values. So we know that, so this expression in written as R is equal to m by E into B by B. So we know that, so E by M is equal to 10 to the power of 11 here. M by E is equal to 10 1 by 10 to the power of 11 into B. So 10 to the power of 9. So B. So 10 to the power of minus 4. So 10 to the power of minus 4. So next R is equal to 10 to the power of 9. So plus 11 minus 4. This is equal to 10 to the power of 7. So therefore R is equal to 10 to the power of 9 into 10 to the power of minus 7. So that is equal to 10 square. So that is 100 meter. So 100 meter is the right option. So radius of the circle is 100 meter. So once observe the options: A 10 meter, B 1 meter, C 0.1 meter, D 100 centimeter. Which is the right option? 100 meter. So 100 meter is the right option. So question number 2. So which is the right option? Option D 100 meter. Next question number 8. So next one. Question number 8. Question number 8. So two concentric coils, each of radius. So two concentric coils, each of radius equal to 2 pi centimeter, are placed right angles to each other. If 3 ampere and 4 ampere are the currents flowing through the two coils respectively, the magnetic induction at the center of the coil B. So magnetic induction at the center of the coil. So we know that. So what is the formula for magnetic field due to center of the current carrying a circular coil? So mu naught I divided by 2R. So this is the formula for magnetic field. So magnetic field due to center of magnetic field at the center of the current carrying a circular coil. So V center is equal to V naught I divided by 2R. So here two concentric coils. So now if we take these two coils, so this is the one coil. So next to, so this is the another coil. Okay, so this is another coil. So these two concentric coils are mutually perpendicular to each other. So this is current I1. Okay, so this is current I2. So here center. So this center. So this first coil magnetic field is B1 in this direction. So the second coil magnetic field is B2. So this is in this direction. This is the resultant. Okay. So these two are mutually perpendicular to each other. So we know that, so by using the formula, so B is equal to square root of B1 square plus B2 square plus 2B1 B2 cos 90. So cos 90 will be value 0. 0 into anything 0, therefore square root of B1 square plus B2 square. So now find out the B1 value. So B1 is equal to, by using this expression, so mu naught I by 2R. So this is I1. So next is B2. So B2 is equal to mu naught I2 divided by 2R. So now substitute values. So B is equal to square root of, so mu naught I1 divided by 2R whole square plus, so mu naught I1 divided by I2 divided by 2R whole square. Okay. So here which is the common factor, mu naught divided by 2R. Here also mu naught divided by 2R. So mu naught divided by 2R is the common. So here square root of 4. So I1 square plus I2 square. So we know that, so the radius of each coil is 2 pi centimeter. So mu naught is equal to 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. So 2 into 2 pi into 10 to the power of minus 2. So that means radius of each coil is 2 pi centimeter. So square root of I1. So I1 value is 20. So I1 is equal to 3 ampere. I2 is equal to 4 ampere. So that means 3 square 9. So 4 square is 60. So here 4 pi is cancelled. So 10 to the power of minus 7 into 10 square. So into root 25. So therefore, so magnetic field at the center B is equal to, so root 25 5 into 10 to the power of minus 7 plus 2 minus 5. So Weber meter minus 2. So this is the right option. So which is the right option? 5 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Okay, so this is the problem number 8. So once observe the options, A 10 to the power of minus 5, B 7 into 10 to the power of minus 5, C 12 into 10 to the power of minus 5, D 5 into 10 to the power of minus 5. So this is the right option in this question. Okay. So next question number 9. Next one. Next one, question number 9. Question number 9. So here if you take the two parallel straight lines, so this is two parallel straight lines. So first wire carrying current I, second wire carrying current I2. These two wires are separated by the distance D. So these two wires are carrying current in same direction. So same direction is what is the nature of the force? So this is opposite direction, same direction and attract. So this is attractive nature. Okay. Next one. So this is current I1. So this wire is current I2. These two are separated by the distance D. So current carrying a two wires are in opposite direction. So this is okay. So current is in the same direction. So what is the nature of the force? Attract. So current is in the opposite direction. What is the nature of the force? Repulse. So now find out the force per unit length. So F by L is equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi to I1 I2 divided by D. Or 2 into I1 I2 divided by R. So this is the formula for force per unit length. So F by L is equal to mu naught by 4 pi to I1 I2 divided by D. Okay. Figure. So understand the question number 9. Two parallel wires 1 centimeter apart carrying currents of 1 ampere and 3 ampere are in opposite direction. So opposite directions. The force per unit length acting between these two wires is the force per unit length acting between these two wires. So here I1 is equal to 1 ampere. So I2 is equal to 3 ampere. So D is equal to 1 meter. Okay. So now find out the force per unit length. F by L is equal to, by using this formula. So what is the formula? Mu naught divided by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 divided by D. So now substitute value. So 4 pi into 10 to the 4 of minus 7 divided by 4 pi. So 2 into I1. So that means 1. I2 3 divided by 1. So 4 pi cancel. So 1 cancel. So 2 3 just 6. 6 into 10 to the 4 of minus 7 Newton meter units. So this is the force per unit length. So what is the nature? Opposite direction where repulsive. So repulsive. What is the nature of the force means? Repulsive. So why? Because so current carrying two wires are in opposite direction. So once observe the options. Option A, 6 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton meter inverse, but attract. So that is something. So next B, 6 into 10 to the power minus Newton meter inverse, attract. So that is also wrong. Option C, 6 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton meter inverse repulsive. So that is right. So next D, 6 into 10 to the power minus 5 Newton meter inverse repulsive. So which is the right option? Option C. 6 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Newton meter inverse repulsive. So that is the right option. Okay. The next one. Next question number 10. So next question number 10. So same case 2050. So question number 10. So a galvanometer of resistance 50 ohm gives a physical deflection for a current 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 ampere. The resistance that should be connected in series with the galvanometer to read 3 volts is. Okay. So in this question, galvanometer is converted into voltmeter. So how to convert galvanometer into ammeter? So when you are suitable low resistance. When you are suitable low resistance connected parallel to the galvanometer, so when converted into the ammeter. So how to convert galvanometer into voltmeter? So when a suitable high resistance. So when a suitable high resistance connected in series to the galvanometer. So when converted into the voltmeter. Okay. So this is the voltmeter. How to convert galvanometer into voltmeter? So when a suitable high resistance, when a suitable high resistance connected series to the galvanometer, is converted into voltmeter. But voltmeter is always connected in parallel. So the ideal voltmeter resistance is infinity. The ideal ammeter resistance is 0. Okay. So when a suitable high resistance connected series to the galvanometer is converted into the voltmeter. So what is the formula for resistance? So we know that V is equal to Iz into capital R plus